Mahati Kannanji, Hindu aesthetics in the folk songs of Tamil Nadu with reference to Thinnai.
Sadgurubhyo Namaha. My humble pranams to the Almighty, my Guru Dr. Padma Subramaniam, my sincere gratitude to Dr. Nagaraj Papuriji and Indic Academy, and also to Dr. Rajshri Vasudevan and Shasun Jain College for giving me this opportunity. I invoke the blessings of my late grandmother, Shamla Balakrishnan, for this presentation because it's based on her pioneering work in the folk songs of Tamil Nadu that my presentation is based on. I would like to begin my presentation with a small invocation to Lord Ganesha in a folk style. Next slide, please. So you have the lyrics and the meaning here, which you can look through as I sing. புள்ளையாரு கல்லாலே ஊடறிய செம்பாலே ஐயனாரு ஏறி வரும் சாமிக்கிளி வாகனமோ பொன்னாலே தஞ்சாவூரு புள்ளையாரே தயங்காம வந்திரங்கு கும்போணத்து பிள்ளையாரே குலுங்காம வந்திரங்கு நாக்கோ தவறாம நல்ல சொல்லு மங்காம பச்சை புள்ள பாடி வரே பக்கந்தோட நிக்க வேணும். In the tradition of the ancient Tamil people, land was divided into 5 tinais or landscapes based on their terrain, which you'll be seeing in the next slide. Kurinji, which is the hilly region, Mullai, which is the forest region, Marudam, the agricultural region, Neidal, the coastal region, and Palai, which is the desert or arid region. The poets of the Sangam era had observed an intimate connection that landscapes had with the people in their lives, emotions, and beliefs. Hence, certain conventional characteristic features were given to each of these landscapes, including one guardian deity for each landscape. As you can see on the screen, for Kurinji, it was Seyon, which is Muruga or Kartikeya. Mullai was guarded by Mayon, which is Mahavishnu. Marudam by Vendan. Vendan means the king, so the king of the Devas, that would be Indra. Neidal is Kadalon. Kadalon is Varuna, since Kadal means the ocean or the sea. And Palai by Kotravai, that is Durga or Kali. This classification forms the basis for the themes of the Sangam poems composed in classical Tamil. However, the use of tinais in Tamil literature was not restricted to Sangam poetry, but was present in the common people's song as well. These songs, passed down from generation to generation through the oral tradition, are today brought under the umbrella term of folk songs. The common people sang these songs while they went about their daily work to reduce the varying effects of their jobs. While the Tinai conventions are fixed in Sangam literature, it is interesting to note the fluidity of the same in these folk songs. Many of these songs are specific to each of the Tinais, but only in terms of the terrain and the occupation followed there. The deities for each of the Tinais, next slide please. Thank you. The deities for each of the Tinais find themselves traveling unrestricted out of their own landscapes and into others. Other deities also find a place in these songs. These divisions of deities for each landscape were perhaps based on the most popular deity worshipped in that region. By singing these songs while at work, the prayers of these people are combined with their chores. They are replete with not only poetic value, but also Hindu religious and philosophical concepts in deceptively simple language and simple tunes. They are a reflection of Sanatana Dharma at the grassroots level. This paper attempts to bring out the Hindu religious aesthetics inherent in the traditional folk songs of Tamil Nadu and to try and relate them to the conventional landscapes. The folk songs for this paper have been sourced from the pioneering eminent thesis of my late grandmother, Srimati Shamala Balakrishnan, titled Folk Music and Dance of Tamil Nadu, submitted in 1960 to the University of Madras. Though she collected these folk songs more than 60 years ago, it is not easy to trace the origins of these songs, which could go back to even centuries. The terrain or the social milieu of today, or even the year 1960, may be vastly different from the settings of the songs. So I start with the 5 Tinais and the songs that I've chosen for them. For Kurinji, this is the song that I have chosen. Malaya malai porudi allelelo mandabata undu pannittilelelo silaya molachara allelelo selvamulla suruliandi tillelelo. Suruli Hills. That is what the Suruli Andi, that's where you find the Suruli Andi, who is a form of Muruga, worshipped in the Suruli Hills, which lie in the Theni district of Tamil Nadu, and they are home to the Suruli Andavar Murugan temple. Next slide, please. The above lines poetically describe the small cave temple of Suruli Andavar, nestled in the crevice of Suruli Hill. As you can see on the screen, that's the cave temple of Suruli Velappar or Suruli Andavar, as Muruga is known in that region. And on the other side, you see the entrance to the pathway to the temple. You have to climb up the hill. It is at quite a height. Though I have not visited the temple myself, I have heard about it a lot from my grandparents, as well as seen a lot of photos of them. It seems to be quite a treacherous climb, and that's the entrance to the pathway to the temple. Historically, Suruli Hill is known as Neduvel Kundram, which finds mention even in the Silappadigaram, the great Tamil epic written by the sage the monk Ilango Adigal. Next slide, please. Now moving on to Mullai, which is the forest region. Pullataalachu pulavazha na natten pulavazha kayella engenge serudo Pumbara nadana sirapida povudu pumbara nadano enna vali vitta. And usually there is a rhythmic phrase which is sung before and after this. Le 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 le. This is a song of the Pulaya tribe. Pumbara their deity, is a form of Muruga worshipped in the village of Pumbare at the foothills of the famous Palani hill. Next slide, please. The temple still exists today and is an active worship. As you can see in the screenshot of Pumbare village from Google Earth, that's an aerial view. It lies on a plateau-like region. It's an interesting confluence of the Mullai and the Kurinji terrains, where all around the village you have hills which are forested, which are very densely forested. And we have to keep in mind that this is how the village of Pumbare looks today. However, several years ago, several decades or even centuries ago, it would have been, even this region that you see now would have been a very densely forested region. Hence, it will come under the Mullai Tinai. The above song that I just sang refers to the sowing of the Pulavara plantain on the hillside and its produce being offered to Muruga, the presiding deity of Kurinji region. Again, you find that the presiding deity of Kurinji region has come down to the Mullai terrains to bless the inhabitants there. And interestingly, the Pumbarai Kurandai Velappar, that whose photo that you see, it's believed that that is after the Parani Navapashana idol of Muruga. It is believed that this Pumbarai Kurandai Velappar Vigraha in the Sannidhi is the second Navapashana idol, that the Vigraha that was consecrated by the Siddha, the saint known as Bhoga, the Bhoga Siddhar. Next slide, please. Moving on to Maridam, which is the agricultural region. Yettadi kuchukulle Subbayya eppadi naan iruppen Thangamayilleri Subbayya vandida venumayya Aaru periyaaru Subbayya aaru muganaaru Indha aaru kadandu Subbayya eppadi naan varuven. This is a song from the Marudam region of from the agricultural plains of Tamil Nadu. It's a very philosophical song. It's a very philosophical song, though it's not evident. It's not very obvious. It is a harvest song. Interestingly, the deity addressed here is again Muruga or Kartikeya, except he's referred to as Subbayya, which is a Tamil variant of the Sanskrit name Subramanya. The vast river, the Aru Periyaru, the vast river here symbolizes the Bhavasagara or the Samsara Sagara, or the ocean of birth and death. And the 8-span hut, Yettadi Kuchu. Kuchu is a hut, and 8-span hut, which is the body which houses the Atma, which the body measures 8 spans by the measure of our own hand, and that is the reference given here as Yettadi Kuchu. This song is a cry out to Lord Muruga to come and save the people from the vicious cycle of birth and death and to grant them moksha. There are intermediate shouts here of Vail Vail and Arohara, which in South India is immediately associated with the deity Muruga. Next slide, please. For the Neithal region, that is the coastal region, I have 2 songs that I'd like to show here. மீனுக்கு மூடஞ்சவல டிங்கிரி டிங்காலே டிங்கிரி டிங்காலே மிதப்புக்கு ஏத்த மரம் டிங்கிரி டிங்காலே டிங்கிரி டிங்காலே மீனா பெரியவல டிங்கிரி டிங்காலே டிங்கிரி டிங்காலே மீனாட்சி அம்மவல டிங்கிரி டிங்காலே டிங்கிரி டிங்காலே. So this is the first song. It's the song of the fisher folk, sung in praise of goddess Meenakshi, the one with beautiful fish-like eyes. In this first song, the fishermen have just gone out to sea and they've cast their net and they're expecting to get a good catch for the day so they can go about their business and their livelihood. Next slide, please. In the second song, we can notice a change in the very mood of how the song is sung and the emotion. ஆரார நோவேனம்மா ஏலேலோ அலைக்கடல நானோவேனோ ஏலேலோ பஞ்சமொகோ நீ பாரம்மா ஏலேலோ பத்தினியே கண் பாரம்மா ஏலேலோ. From this second song, it is evident that they have not had even a single catch. They've not caught any fish, and hence their very livelihood is affected. They do not know what to do when they reach shore again. They call out to the sea as their patini. Now it's very well known that in the Hindu tradition, we often refer to water bodies as mother. We have Ma Ganga, Ma Saraswati, Mother Kaveri, Mata Yamuna. Here it's interesting, because these fisher folk call out to the sea as Patini. Patini is a wife or consort, one who nourishes them. So they call out to her as Patini, which is a very interesting perception, a very unique instance, where we see the goddess, the sea, being celebrated as a goddess, and not only as a goddess, but as the wife or the consort of the fisher folk, who would provide them with their food and with the fish, and in turn their livelihood. This song is usually sung by the men, the fishermen who go out to sea to to catch fish. And the phrases dingire dingale and yelelo in the first song are rhythmic in nature and sung as a refrain between each line. Next slide, please. Coming to the final Tinai, which is Palai, or the desert or arid region. Amma Magamayi, Arpuda Rupavati, Amma Magamayi, Arpuda Rupavati, ஆனந்தமாகவே ஆடிக்கொண்டு அவ பாடிக்கொண்டு வரா பாருங்கடி, அவ பாடிக்கொண்டு வரா பாருங்கடி, கும்பங்கூலுங்க கூடங்கூலுங்க, கும்பத்து வேப்பில தாங்கூலுங்க, அப்புச்சடச்சி உஜ்ஜினி மாகாளியாடி வரத பாருங்கடி, கூத்தாடி வரத பாருங்கடி. These lines are from a song known as Amman Kondadi, because Palai is the region of Kotravai, who is Durga or Kali. This song is called Amman Kondadi, which basically means a song in celebration of the goddess. Amman is a South Indian, more specifically Tamil way of referring to the goddess, say to Amba. So you have Amman here, which basically is another way of saying Amba. There are two notable references in this song with relation to the goddess. One is the mention of Kumbam and Kudam. Kumbam Kulunga, Kudam Kulunga. So you have Kumbam and Kudam, both meaning pot. In this context, they refer to the tradition of Karagam or Karagattam, a ritual where devotees balance on their head a consecrated pot filled with turmeric water and decorated with neem leaves and a coconut, and they dance by balancing the pot on their head to worship and to please the goddess. The second reference is the mention of Ujjini Mahakali, the Mahakali, goddess Mahakali of Ujjain. Next slide, please. Ujjain in Madhya Pradesh. Here you see a picture of the Harsiddhi Mata temple in Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh. I learned that this Ujjini Mahakali is often confused with the Ujjini Mahakali temple in Sikandrabad in Telangana. Apparently, this is the original Shakti Pitha of Ujjain Mahakali. She's known there as Harsiddhi Mata. And here on the other side, you have Mundakandi Amman from Chennai. Here she is worshipped as, this is a form of Amba, who's worshipped here, a very ferocious form. Here she is also more popularly worshipped as Mari Amman. The interesting similarity here between the Harsiddhi Mata and Mundakandi Amman, as it's very evident from the pictures, is that the head is worshipped. It's just the head of Amba which is worshipped, and I found that to be a very interesting correlation. This not only shows that the people of the villages of Tamil Nadu, who are often taken for granted with regards to their awareness of the outside world, they've been quite aware of the sthalas, the Shakti Pithas that were there in other parts of the country, such as the Mahakali of Ujjain. But it also proves that faith, bhakti, has no geographical boundaries. Bhakti is bhakti anywhere you go. Next slide, please. Normally, the word folk evokes an idyllic picture of rusticism and laukika. However, this rusticism is laden with subtle philosophical values. These folk songs prove that Hindu philosophy is not something that is restricted to scholars and academicians, as is often misunderstood today, but it is embedded in the lives of all, finding practical expression even at the grassroots level. The simple language and tunes bring out the aesthetic quality of rural life. The respective Tinais themselves were not just living spaces for the people inhabiting them, but were considered all sacred, all encompassing deities worthy of worship and celebration. This oneness with nature finds expression through their songs. Moreover, these songs ooze with unadulterated bhakti and shraddha to their respective devatas. Prayer was a part and parcel of even the simplest daily chores, thus giving practical sanction to the saying, work is worship. I once again take this opportunity to thank the organizers for having invited me to present my paper here, and to all of you for your patience. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mahati. We are so excited that these youngsters have such a great potential. Future of our Hindu studies, Hindu aesthetic studies in particular, are safe in your hands, Amma.
Thank you so
We are so excited to know this. And you are a good singer. That was a musical piece also, your paper. And you have to encourage your generation to learn more of this. Uh, and actually, the way you brought it out, the Hindu awareness reflected in these folk songs and folk culture is often, particularly in Tamil Nadu, because of atheist politics, it is being sidelined, and you have rightly brought it out and highlighted. We have to do more of this, and we welcome you, Mahatiji, for a conference that we are going to do in association with Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth on folk spirituality.
Definitely,
Uh,
sir.
the
Thank you.
conference's title is Folk Spirituality. You must definitely come there and educate us. And there is
Thank
a
you.
comment by Shri Ramaji. Interestingly, even Renuka Devi in Maharashtra is worshipped as an idol with only the head. Excellent presentation. Shri Ramaji, Renuka Devi is also called as Yallamma. Yallamma is the folk name for Renuka Devi. And Yellamma is the name used even in the Changalpattu area of Tamil Nadu. And Yellamma is the name used in Telugu and Kannada areas also. Kshetras like Saundatti and many others, such as Mahur in the borders of Maharashtra and Telangana. All these are the big shrines of Yellamma. And in the Changalpattu area of Tamil Nadu, there is a whole story of how the head came to get worshipped, while the trunk also went to get worshipped. And the trunk portion in Karnataka is called Uligamma, whereas head portion is called Yellamma. And some of the classical observers thought that it is Chinnamasta, but it is not. Actually, Chinnamasta of Dashamahavidyas is different from Renuka Devi of the folk traditions, Yellamma. And this is a folk classical interface area where we see Renuka Devi, Parashurama, Jamadagni story, and the Yellamma idea of folk culture. This is a vast area, and Mariamman being identified with this head form, and Ujjaini Mahankali of Secunderabad is only just a replica of the original Ujjaini Mahankali. People know that. The Secunderabad people know that actually in 1868, when there was a plague in Hyderabad, the Bonalu that is happening now, exactly in this month, the Bonalu festival, which is similar to the Karadam of Tamil Nadu, and similar festivals throughout South India. It is happening now. It started in 1868, and it was at that time that the Ujjaini Mahankali of original Ujjaini replica was created here in Secunderabad to ward off exactly the way it is happening during the pandemic now. So whenever such calamities come, the folk way of responding to that is to worship Amman. And there was a spirit possession, and the spirit possessed person said that by appeasing, by pacifying Amman, the plague would go. Plague of 1868 would go. That is why they brought Jaini Mahankali replica to Secunderabad. That is how the Secunderabad Jaini Mahankali started. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Mati ji. So beautiful presentation, such a good singing musical feast.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Uh,
you.
we more power to you, and we wish more people like you would come up for the future India and
Thank
future
you, sir. Thank you
citizenship.
so
Thank you.
much. Thank you.